All right, ladies and gentlemen, don't you go anywhere. Get out a big legal pad and a pen and put your phones on Do Not Disturb. We've got the greatest, the GOAT, the greatest of all time, Mr. Gene Frederick, live from Puerto Rico, his new home. And I've got a huge announcement with my special guest host today, and you're going to meet her in just a minute. Stay right there. Real estate agents, are you struggling with the day-to-day grind, dialing for dollars, putting in hours of floor time with little to show for it? Are you looking for tips, tricks, and tactics to accelerate your career as an agent that will have you closing more homes, working with more clients, and earning more money than ever before? Hi, my name's Cliff Freeman, and I've spent the past 2 decades of my real estate career running one of the top brokerages in DFW and personally coaching over 1,000 high-performing real estate professionals across North America. I created this podcast to share the strategies and tactics you need to explode your real estate business. I guarantee it. I guarantee it, Trelvis. You know, we're here again, baby. This is episode 21. Yes, can you believe it?
I can. I actually can.
Yeah, I'm tell you what, I got to introduce my guest co-host today. You recognize her from just a couple of short weeks ago, ladies and gentlemen. Maria Arita Howard, the one and only, right here. How about that?
Met him once and he got me. That's it.
All right, so I know you're close. Get that finger out and start hitting those likes, those loves. Let's show Maria some love today. And coming up in just a minute, don't forget, Gene Frederick is live on the beach. On the beach in Puerto Rico. But in the meantime, Maria,
this is what we're after, guys. This is what we're after.
I love your ears, by the way.
You know, it's Halloween, so this is, they put these on me. Had to do it.
The only problem, I didn't get any, though. I feel left out in this whole Halloween thing.
Yeah, you're Superman already, so what,
Hey, Trelvis, I do need to settle a bet with you, and my heart is broken
here we go.
over the demise of the Houston Astros in Game 7, but we did have that bet. You took the Nationals, and I took the Astros. So I'm a man of my word.
There you go.
And I promise you, I told you at that time, I know it's a lot, but I told you we bet $100,000 on the game, and I just want you to know that I've got your $100,000 here for after the show.
Okay? I did not.
Yeah.
I did not. But you know what? You are a better man for living up to your end of the bargain.
I'm not. That's right. I don't mooch my bets.
He's dangerous.
It's right here. You just got to hope I don't need it until after the show, so I can give it to you.
I'm definitely going to claim it once we finish rapping today. So hold on to it.
There you go. All right. Speaking of $100,000, we're going to meet a guy that is just, in my opinion, he's brought more value to more people's lives, including my own, than anybody else that I know, especially in this crazy business that we're both in. We're all in the real estate business. So without further ado, can you see if we can get that gentleman? Is he swimming with the sharks there, Gene? Gene Frederick, how you doing, sir?
Hello, Gene.
Hey, Cliff. Hi, Maria. How are you?
Gene, I'm fantastic. Great. You look fantastic too. Well, even your skin is glowing over there in Puerto Rico.
I love it. Laquillo Beach, Puerto Rico. We're out here for an afternoon, little beautiful day. I live in paradise.
Can I ask you just a question before we get started here? Because you're in Puerto Rico. A lot has happened in Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is a beautiful place. Puerto Rico is still suffering. But there's good news coming out of Puerto Rico, too. So everything good?
Well, after Maria, as you know, the last 2 years, I would say this. We're building back up. It's definitely opportunity time. And you would not believe it if you were here right after Maria, what it looks like now. And we're very excited here in Puerto Rico. Very much a lot of opportunities for people. Come on out. Come see us.
Well, we're happy to hear that for the people of Puerto Rico. Now we're going to get on to the rock star here, Gene.
The rock star, the GOAT, the man of all time. Gene, there's most people who know your amazing accomplishments. I just want to highlight a few of them. You started in the real estate business in 1984. That was with Texas Instruments. You were actually in the corporate world and a numbers guy, worked in the Treasury, I believe, there, and finance. And then you decided real estate was your calling, and you joined RE/MAX, and you became one of the top 20 realtors in Texas. And then After Remax, you started working with Gary Keller, and actually, if I'm not mistaken, you were you and Susan were two of the first 10 agents in Dallas. Is that right?
Yes, sir. Yes, Cliff. We were 1994.
Okay,
Yep.
that's early. You've always been an early adapter, but you also
It
made
was a smaller company then, right? And he did that.
Oh gosh, yes, yes.
You did that thing.
I'm telling you, he's got that gift of discernment. He sees things way before the rest of us do.
So
and
you're kind of like KW Royalty.
KW Royalty.
Oh, no.
And
No?
then you saw something else that was kind of small to other people, but it was Netflix. You saw Netflix, didn't
Yep.
you? Tell me that little saying. I love it that you say.
Well,
if you knew there was a
well,
Netflix.
Maria, just vision this. 5 years ago at this time, I was retired, and in Texas, in Austin, Texas, actually, and I met a gentleman, Glenn Sanford, and he showed me a new model for real estate, a national real estate model with no franchises. Just imagine this, no franchises. We were going to grow through agents. It's going to be agent-driven, not owner-driven. I checked it out for 5 months, and the saying is in the spring of 2015, and you guys know it, you were adhered to it. I literally came to Susan, and try this out for size, guys. Try this out when you've been retired and you thought you were at the end, and all of a sudden I told Susan, if you knew Netflix existed, would you own a Blockbuster? And she says, of course not. And I said, well, we own 6 of them. She goes, and that look on her face, Maria, was like, you have got to be kidding me. What is about ready to happen? And I said, honey, we got to sell all of them. We sold 6 franchises and a region from Keller Williams and went with a company with 400 agents just 4.5 years ago.
Such explosive growth, too, in a pretty short amount of time as real estate goes, right? And I got to tell you, when I first came in, and I've been hearing, rumors about EXP for some time, but I was, I hear 3D avatar in the cloud scared me to death. But tell us just a 3,000-foot view of how this new sort of Netflix model, analogous to that you saw, and why it's working so well now, why it's so agent strong.
Well, I talk to so many owners. It's really funny. Almost every single day now, I speak to numerous owners. And the owners, they own different franchises. I've been doing this for 35 years. And I ask them, how's it going? And they go, my gosh, are you kidding?
And we just lost him for a couple of seconds.
Sorry about that. Sorry about
Okay.
that. It's a live feed here. But anyway, just so you know, when I talk to owners, I go, how's it going with all the bricks and mortar and everything? When I saw this 4.5 years ago, almost 5 years ago, I knew that our industry needed a change. When I say structural change, from an owner-driven, franchise-driven model to an agent-driven model where we don't have bricks and mortar. And let me tell you, it took Glenn Sanford and this little avatar thing, right? We own Verbella. That's our platform that we live off. When I saw it, I went, oh, that can do it. We can have a national, literally all 50 states, all provinces in Canada. We're just opening up in London and Australia. Just think we're only 10 old. But when I say that, the industry was, okay, where's your little franchise? Where's the franchise you're running, right? And when I talk to the owners of franchises, they go, Gene, this is tough. Mm-hmm. You've always heard, if you want to be a broker, you are broke, right? You're broker than most of them. And here's the other thing, and Cliff knows me really well the last 4.5 years. The reason I did this was not for Gene, Frederick, and Susan. Frederick, people know me. I wanted agents for the first time to have a way out. We always say, and Cliff's a good coach, Cliff says, it's like the dolphin thing. Everybody gets leads, right? And you get a whole bunch of leads, so you sell a lot of homes, then all of a sudden, you forget to lead generate, and then you close on the homes. It's like a dolphin thing. And agents don't have a constant source of income to help them out in the downturn. So when I saw revenue share in this model, Cliff, I saw that as the solution for agents to get $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month in their world besides selling homes.
That's what I see as so brilliant and clever about this model, the fact that it's set up and designed so to incentivize agents to do more real estate by bringing in other agents who do more real estate and doing that over and over and over again. And so that, there comes a time when you can be this rock star agent that's used to hitting the ground running every single day. You're working day and night. This is what you've known yourself to do. That's all you've ever known to do. And then suddenly you have this model and your other income is beginning to even exceed your real estate income to a point where now you have a choice that you can continue to white knuckle it if you want to. You can always, if you just love to do that, you can always do that. But if, as you get older and as you continue on, you want to maybe not do as much work, not work as hard, but make more money, you have that option as well. I love that. Absolutely love it.
Yeah, Maria, what I tell folks is real estate agents, and Cliff and I have been coaching and training them, doing it for over 30 years, literally coaching and training real estate agents. They do two things better than anybody I know. They don't save money and they don't pay their taxes. I mean, we're experts at it.
Wow.
It's like we should have realtors on after the Dave Ramsey show of how to pay off everything. A realtor should get up, I laugh, and go, hey, I'll show everybody how not to pay your taxes.
We haven't talked to Dave Ramsey.
Yeah, we're just terrible at saving, right? We're just terrible at it because we're salespeople. And I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission to help agents just level that off. The fact that now I have agents, I could read you texts from people that have been with us 2-3 years, just 2-3 years, that said, Gene, you've changed my life forever. I've got $3,000 a month coming in that pays my house payment, my car payment. Now I don't have what we commonly called in the real estate industry, I don't have commission breath anymore. I'm not worried about the next sale. It just takes pressure off. And I'm actually selling more because of it.
Gene, and I don't want to hog the floor here, so jump in whenever you want to, Cliff, but I have to ask him this because I just came in, so I got a lot of response from making that move just overnight. I don't know how it got any sleep.
She told me this, her phone is blown up. It has not stopped ringing all day and all night.
And I'm mom's right now because I'm new, and so I want to know what I know, over probably what will be a short period of time. But some of the things that I'm hearing, it's misinformation. I know it is. A lot of it is. Like, for instance, okay, so you have a 3D cloud, you got an avatar. How does that? I'm one who is very old school, so I need to have a classroom where I can see, feel, touch a person. I ask a ton of questions. Oh my God, it's poor. I'm so sorry, Cliff. But I learned very, very quickly, and I am not a techie person. I'm a horrible tech person, and I just don't catch on to it well. And if I can do it, and it's my new toy. I mean, it is unbelievable that so you can walk into an accounting room. Let's say you get up in the morning, you're in your realtor home office. You just
in your realtor pajamas.
In your realtor pajamas, you just showered. You don't need to do the makeup or anything, and you have a question about the accounting or your deal, where it resides and what's going on with it, or maybe the deal itself, some realtor question you really have to have answered now. So you've got all these departments you can go into, and the funny thing is the person that you need to answer that question just suddenly pops up, no matter what time of day or night it is, ready to answer your question. I mean, that's really kind of unbelievable. That's one of the objections, I'm just saying, that people have. I mean, I need a classroom, and I'm not a techie.
Yeah, okay, I commonly hear that. What else do you hear? Give me another one. What have you heard since you made the move this week?
The other thing is these numbers that they say the agents are making, for profit share and revenue share aren't true. And it just can't be true, because if it were, why isn't every other brokerage doing it? If it were, Keller Williams is brilliant. He's a lot of things. Everybody knows he's a smart guy. Then why isn't he doing it? Why isn't everybody doing it?
What else have you heard? Give me
that's the main one. That one, can you take your stock shares with you? I've heard you can't. Those are the main two. Can you inherit? And when you amass all this wealth, when you begin to do really, really well, what if something happens to you? Do they keep your money, or can you inherit? Can your heirs inherit your income? Those are the three main questions I've been asked.
I can handle most of those, and here's what I'm going to tell you. I have heard more misinformation, like let's say just what you said, there's just a bunch of misinformation there. Can I ask you a question, Maria? If you're going to buy a Tesla, do you go to the Ford dealership to get information on how the Tesla runs?
Oh, exactly. No.
Right. Well,
That's why
guess
I'm coming
what?
straight to the source.
You're getting all the information from the Ford dealer.
Right.
In other words, it's funny how I've heard so much misinformation. So I always tell them, why don't you just come to us? We'll show you how the Tesla runs, right? Because you've just said about 3 things that just don't exist in our company. All right. In other words, we've been around for 10 years. In the last 4.5 years, that's just facts. We've gone from 400 agents to right at 24,000 as we're doing this in late October, right?
And there's a reason for that, which they're not mentioning, right?
Well, the reason for that is it's a brand new model.
Right.
What you will not hear anywhere is the fact that we've invented a new model. And this will help answer some of the questions you just asked. In other words, we have an agent-driven model, okay, not an owner-driven model. The owner-driven model is tops down. The international company hires regions. The regions hire, they sell franchises. By the way, I've done all these positions.
And this comes at a price, which trickles down to the split that they give me.
Well, the problem is all that middle-level management, regional owners, owners of franchises, literally team leaders that run the office, we don't have that. And we don't have the bricks and mortar that go with it. So we've wiped out all the expenses. Now, what we're doing is taking that money and giving it back to the agents in what's called revenue share. Let me ask you, for franchise fees. You were at a company that took franchise fees. They call it franchise fees or what? They take it off, and who do they give it to?
It's got to come from somewhere. It comes from me.
Well, it goes to it comes from you, but it goes straight to the owner, right?
Right.
I mean, it just comes off the top and goes to the owner.
Right.
So it's so funny when we're taking money off the top, we just call it revenue share. We're taking part of the company dollar that the company gets, part of the 20%. We're taking part of that and giving it back to the agents who help grow the company. We're giving it back to Cliff, right? And when I say that, I said, I'll tell agents, which ones do you like better? Money off the top, give it to the owners, or take money up and give it to the agents?
Okay, that's what I'm saying, though, Gene. This just seems like it's just such a no-brainer. So that begs the question that everybody asks, then why isn't everybody doing it? And I wonder if it's because the bigger the company is, the more entrenched in their ways a company is. It's like asking grandma to change her gingerbread cookie recipe.
Well, that's why
it's too hard.
Well, you got to understand, that's why I like Blockbuster versus Netflix. Because when I came back and told Susan I found Netflix, Blockbuster had very, very smart people leading them. You don't know this, but they, you read up on that history. They didn't have not smart people, has nothing to do with it. They just didn't have the right model. Once streaming video came out and you could, all the movies you want for $8 a month, what did you do? You sat in your PJs, right? And for a couple of years, Blockbuster said, well, everybody wants to come in and get the video. Everybody wants to see everybody on Friday night. Just so you know, no, we didn't, right? Now, I can tell you agents right now, the problem where franchises aren't copying us is they've got their Blockbuster model. I tell everybody they're at JCPenney's and Sears, and we're at Amazon. It's that simple. In other words, if they can't, could they change? Sure, but
they're great companies and they're good companies and smart people, but just not the companies of tomorrow. It doesn't feel like to me because, you have to be just completely with blinders on not to see where this is going, where this is headed. Well, whether you like it or not, whether you want it to go there or not. Yeah.
We're the only different model out there. When I say that, we're the only, that's why when I talk to franchise owners and owners of small independents, we've got 20 to 30 small independents talking to us right now that'll be joining in the next 60 to 90 days. Well, why are they calling us? We're not calling them, they're calling us because they're going, well, you're different. You're not just different, you're changing the industry. Nobody in the history of real estate has grown this fast, ever.
I'd heard, and Cliff had told me, like in words, these things at one point, but I was still in the back of my mind in the Blockbuster, and I was still, I want to go in there and I want to buy my popcorn, and I just want to do, I want to feel the tape in my hand. There must be a catch. If it's too good to be, all the cliches started just flowing and just ramping it up inside my head until he sent me something that really clarified it all. And ding, the light just went off in my head. And I'm so excited to do this because one way or the other, even if you didn't have the profit share and the revenue share, just the cloud and all the resources that are available here, the way it's set up in terms of the split and the capping. I mean, even just if you wanted to take all that away, it's still a fabulous way to go. And if you're just starting, there's no shortage in training and coaching. Everything that you need is right there at your finger. And you don't have to put the lipstick on, ladies. You just get up in the morning and go to work.
Guys too, not lipstick.
No.
Well, it's Halloween. Maybe some guys are putting lipstick on today. I don't know. Could be.
Yeah.
Well, Gino, hey, look, this is great. I love hearing, because Maria, literally, she just onboarded yesterday. And, I always like to repeat what Rob Flick says, and that is, we're looking for agents who are looking for us. What does that say to you? How does that speak to you, Gene?
Well, it speaks that we're getting so many professionals. And literally, I've gotten people that have been with other franchises and other companies for 32 years, 36 years. I mean, they're as loyal as I was, right, Cliff? I was at my old company for 21 years. It's not the fact that, if you guys read the book Blink by Malcolm Gladwell, right? He wrote The Tipping Point, and he wrote Outliers. They say in there's a blink. When you see something that, because you've been in the business a long time, that's going to change the industry, or it's just subconscious. I saw it and I went, this is going to work. Well, guess what? I mean, it is working. And if I had a nickel, Maria, for every time someone said what you just said, oh gosh, I wish I would have done it earlier. I mean, I wish, I looked at this 2 years ago, but 2 years ago we had 5,000 agents. Now we have 24,000 agents. I mean, literally 5,000 to 24,000, 2 years.
This is when you do
and
it.
What do we get?
You have a habit of doing this, jumping into small companies and making them large.
A true visionary.
It's become a habit with you. No, you are a visionary.
I think
Go ahead.
I just think I recognize a good opportunity. And also, I've been in the business for a long time, guys. I've ran large companies, large offices, and the agents were not coming in. I'm talking to you on a cell phone from Puerto Rico. In 2007, the minute the iPhone came out, us as real estate agents, our lives changed. We can do everything from our little computer.
That's my computer.
Right, everything. That's our computer. So in 2007, I ran two of the largest offices for my old franchise, and I would go in as the manager, and nobody was there. But I was there, and nobody was there. And this is 2007, 2008, 2009. I mean, it's gone on for a long time. And I went, it's going to be the first company to design an office model that we can work from home and use the technology we have. Thank you, Glenn Sanford, right?
And because of that, I, as an agent, I don't have to wait. If I have a question about anything, I know that I can get it instantly. And that's what this kind of technology does for us. What I needed up until now is that added level of support, because I don't want to just be average. I want to kill it in 2020. I mean, I want to kill it. And I needed someone to sit with me and explain to me how they did it, and to kind of take me by the hand this year to see enough in me to say, we're going to help you do that. You have the capability of doing that. We're going to help you do that. And that's another reason that I'm here. But I do want to get to the other question too about stock shares. A lot of people are wondering, can they, there's this misinformation going around that people have had experiences maybe a couple or a few years ago. They had trouble getting their stock shares when they left. Tell me about that.
Well, we have common shares. We are a company called EXPI. You can look it up. It's EXP World Holdings. You can look at all our financials. We actually got uplisted to the NASDAQ in May of 2018. and it's all common shares. What's really funny is when people say, well, how's the stock doing? I said, well, 5 years ago, literally 5 years ago, when I talked to Glenn for the first time, the stock was 13 cents a share.
Penny stock.
13, it was a penny stock. It was literally Wolf on Wall Street, right? And now, once we got uplisted in May of 2018, I mean, right now I think we're at about $8.50 to $9 a share. If you would have told me 5 years ago, wait, that stock's going to go from 13 cents to $8.50 or $9, I would have went, well, can I invest? Where can I go? But here's the difference on the stock. It's not the price. Oh, no, you get common shares. It's a myth. Like I said, it's going to the Ford dealer to get the information. Come to us. You have the shares. You can see them. But here's about, I can ask you one question. If you guys own Coca-Cola stock, how much Pepsi you drinking? Right? In other words, ownership in a company and stock ownership is huge. And I told Glenn that when it was 13 cents a share. I said, if agents own stock in the company, they're going to talk different. They're going to act different.
Can they take it with them, Gene? That's exactly what's happened. That's their question. Can they take it with them?
Can you take? Of course you can. When you say take it with them, of course you can. Yes, it's your stock. If you can take 5% of your commissions, guys. This is just one of the 5 ways you can acquire stock. You can take 5% of your commissions and purchase stock at a 20% discount every single check that you have. Okay? That's ownership. They can buy.
And we
lost Gene, but just to be
Sorry
clear,
about that.
sorry, Gene, we lost you. Just to be clear, the equity awards that you earn just by doing your job, by capping, by attraction, and so forth, that the company gives you, those do have a 3-year vesting period.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
very good
those
point.
are different.
Very good point.
They're just right. And here's
Which is
the other
fair.
thing.
Yeah.
Well, sure. Yeah, you if we're going to give you shares for just doing what
Free
you normally
shares.
do, free
Right.
shares. Yeah, this isn't the 5% that you pay for. Or if you're an icon agent and you get the whole $16,000 back in shares, we have ways. See, when Glenn showed me,
I mean, when
this,
I was
went,
at CBS, I had a vesting period that I had to deal with. So, I mean, that's
sure
just,
you do.
Yeah.
Sure you do. Yeah, and here's the thing with shares of stock. I'm just telling you, agents. I have agents call me. They go, Gene, I got 1,000 shares. You know, at $8, it's not a ton of money, but it's money, right? And then I have people call me and they go, I got 50,000 shares. My gosh, I've only been here 2 years. And I go, isn't that cool? Well, you could imagine the difference in your heart about your company. Like I said, if you own Coca-Cola stock, you're not drinking a lot of Pepsi. If you own stock in our company and you're going to be able to cash it 3 years from now, right? You're not going anywhere. You're staying.
This is wealth building for the agent in a way that I've never seen before. That is really brilliant because the incentives are for growth, but also to allow an agent to be able to foresee a future that says at a certain point, my income over here will have stabilized me to the point where I don't really have to go out there and do as much myself, but I've got a lot of little soldiers around me that I'm training every single day and that I give consistent support to. That'll do that. So essentially, that particular person who's a rock star agent now has less units or less numbers in that sense, but their income is tripled, and they don't spend as much time on it as they.
And Gene,
did.
talk a little bit about how this has really changed people's outlook on their legacy. How is EXP helping realtors now leave a legacy they never could have left before?
Yes.
Well, that's a big thing. You know, Cliff, you and I've trained for a long time, and agents get to a certain age and they go, what am I going to leave for my kids? What am I going to leave behind? I mean, that to me is one of the main reasons I came aboard, was to leave a legacy for my family. As you guys know, who's your grandfather? Who's your great-grandfather? Well, you might be able to name that. Who's your great-great-grandfather? You know, legacies only last about one generation. So if you want to really live past yourself, right, and you want to give something to your family that'll live past you, just so you know, our revenue share is willable. It's willable, okay?
That was
and that's
my
a big thing.
question.
Hello.
Yes.
It's a big thing to me. In other words, hey, let me tell you guys, I have 5 children and 5 grandkids at this time. I want more grandkids. Come on, keep going. But 5 kids and 5 grandkids, and I got news for you. I can't wait for my great-grandchildren and my great-great-grandchildren to know who I am. right? I'm going to leave something behind.
And that revenue
awesome.
share, by the way, that is willable, it isn't a little thing. It is it's an accessible thing that any agent is going to be able to reap the benefits up in a short time, in short order, if they do just the basic minimum that they would have done just selling real estate in the first place.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's not a get-rich-quick thing. I mean,
No.
we don't want to mislead
No.
anybody
Right.
at all. But, if you're on a 3 to 5 year plan, Gene, I mean, the amount of money that someone could anticipate, perhaps if they were working to help grow the company, I mean, it could change whether their kids go to public school or private school, or whether they go to college, or where they live. I mean, it could change a lot of things about their lifestyle.
Well,
So you're
I've
working
got
smarter, basically.
Right. I've got one agent right now. It's got to be your why, right? He has a couple children in high school, and he says, Gene, I want them to be able to go to any college they want to go to. And right now, I don't want to just say you got to go to a state institution or a junior college. If one of my kids, which he's got a really smart one, says, I want to go to MIT, I want to be able to send them there. That's a big why. It's a big why.
It is.
In my why, I want to go play in Puerto Rico in a couple of years.
Yay.
Like, I want to buy my.
Do you hear how well she says that? Puerto Rico.
Definitely. Puerto Rico.
She's already
Puerto
there,
Rico,
brother.
baby.
You better get her a place
here,
to stay.
right here,
Yeah, that's it.
Come on.
Well, Papa, Big Papa, we're really, I hate to say this, if you can believe it, we're already at the end of our allotted time here. I didn't want to get off the phone with you, the feed here, without asking you one or two more questions. And one of them is, how does Gene Frederick want to be remembered?
Oh, I think to me, my life is all about relationships. I mean, I want to be able to help agents literally get out of the rat race. And I even did it when I was at my other franchise. I wanted to help them. At the other place I was, the only way I could get them out of the rat race, Cliff, was to help them buy a franchise, to become an owner. In our model, you are the owner. Maria, you are the owner. I'm the owner. We don't have any owners. So if you want to create a legacy for your family and get out of the rat race, when I say get out of the rat race, get off the treadmill. Get off that little thing that's causing you, canker sores in the morning because you don't have a sale for December or January.
Talking about that treadmill, we've heard your successes. They are many, they are numerous, and I know that when you left and KW and you came to Netflix for real estate, when you came to EXP, you moved over, what was it, 350 agents, or how many agents did you move? It was a sea change for you. So you upset the apple cart, and you've done that several times in your life. So we know your successes. What were the difficulties for you in moving large teams or creating that sea change for yourself and seeing it work?
Well, the first year, I mean, I've been here 4.5 years. It seems like it's been like 6 months to me, and that's how fast it's gone. But the first year, I mean, I had to go through that whole thing of what's EXP stand for, right? We were at 400 agents. It took us almost a year to get to 1,000. By the way, now we're 400 to 500 agents a week. So 4.5 years.
You were kind of dipping in. You were kind of dipping out on us, Gene. You were saying now we're up to what, a week? How many agents a week? We lost him for 2 seconds there, but he'll be right there. He is. Can you hear him?
Okay, just a second. Can you guys see me? Can you see?
Not yet, but we can hear you. So keep talking. It's okay. Well, we just lost you.
Yeah.
Can you? Sorry, I'm going to get right back to you.
We can hear you. So basically what he's talking about is this incremental growth to massive, very quick growth that's happened in a pretty short period of time with this company, right?
Right.
And when you look at numbers with other brokerages who like to tout large numbers, and we're here, we're there, you have to remember they've been in business since when?
Oh gosh, years and years.
And how quickly is EXP catching up? That's a story.
Right.
That's a story.
Yeah, there's a saturation level where then your market share only grows, maybe 3 or 4%, or your agent, count grows 3 or 4% a year.
Right.
We're growing at, 7% a month.
That's the story.
That's where the hockey stick, the exponential growth,
right,
all of that lies. Yeah. Well, we may have. I wondered if a shark swum up and got Gene by the leg there, or something. I think, and I know we're just about out of time. So the only other thing I was going to ask Gene, is there a question that we didn't ask you, Gene, that we should have? And I guess what we're going to have to do is have you back on the show and ask you that question. I know you're going to be in Dallas sometime. I'd love to get you booked in here right at the studio so we could go out and have dinner with you, Gene. But if you can't hear us, we'll just go ahead and wish you the best down there in Puerto Rico. Hopefully it's not another Maria, right? Tropical storm. I was watching the weather.
Why did it have to be called? And my son's name is Dorian. Then there was a Hurricane Dorian, and it's just not fair.
Wow, you've got some connection there. That's pretty incredible. But Maria, I'm so excited now that.
And if you have questions, right? Out there, ask us.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm excited to have you here and co-hosting today. And if you want to get a hold of Gene is a very accessible person. Obviously, he's on Facebook. I think he's friended up now and so forth. But if there are any of you out there who are feeling like maybe you'd even like to have a confidential conversation with Gene or me or Maria, we can put you in touch with Gene, not a problem. Everybody knows how to reach me, and if you go to getcliffsnotes.com, you can get in there and get some of the great value that we've stored in the vault from previous shows. But Maria, if anybody would like to get a hold of you, how would someone reach you?
My Facebook, Maria Howard Realtor, or you can just call me 469-305-0224, and we can post that phone number.
Okay, and we'll put that down in the comments so that everybody will have that. That sounds terrific. Well, Trelvis, I want to thank you again. I got all the way through the show and didn't even touch this. So
hey, don't think I forgot about it.
I've
been watching it the whole time.
This $100,000 is yours,
I've been
baby.
watching it the whole time.
Hey, do me a favor. Don't re-gift it. Go ahead and enjoy it.
Now, you better take it seriously because he doesn't joke around.
I will do.
Sometimes.
I will do.
All right. Maria, thank you again. Whoops, so much for
Thank you. We're going to pop
co-hosting today.
Cork today.
We're gonna get out a little bit of Vevey and go see if we can bust a light in the ceiling with the cork. So friends out there in the audience, thank you guys so much for being here. Once again, just give us a little love, hit the heart button, share this episode so all your friends can meet Gene Frederick. And we'll be back next week, and I've got a special guest that I'm trying to get confirmed who you won't want to miss. This gentleman is a 10-year veteran of this crazy company that we call EXP, and he just got named CEO, and I'm going to try to get it confirmed that I can get him on next week. But make sure you're here next Thursday at 1 o'clock.
Call me so I can make your own avatar.
That's right. Hey, you can dress up your avatar
I'll
in
make
Halloween
your
today,
avatar.
right? All right. Everybody have a great week. Be safe out trick-or-treating tonight. The roads are dangerous, but the candy is good, Trelvis, right?
Boo.
All right. You guys have a great rest of your week.
Bye.